Hello my lovelies, in today's video it's all about perfect perfume collection. I've got 15 perfumes in this particular collection that I've put together, and I've divided them into 3 sections: the fresh ones, the easygoing florals, that's how I like to put them, and then more of warmer, gourmand, sort of sexy fragrances. So you've got something for every single occasion, and you've got beautiful fragrance collection. So let me share with you what your must-own perfume collection could be. Let's start with the Freshies first. I put on the first spot here Commodities Paper Plus, because I think it's nice to have a Freshie that is kind of a very clean, woody sort of a base. This is not only perfect as a Freshie but also for a layering fragrance, and it's always good to have one of those in your collection just to make your own fragrance a bit more individual, a bit more long lasting. And I just love spraying this on top of other fragrances or as a base. This is a nice woody but like barely anything there, where you smell extremely clean sort of a fragrance, kind of like Juliette has a gun, not a perfume, but this, in my opinion, it is better, and it's very rich in oil, because when you spray it, it's just like drenched in perfume oil, which is very good. So paper is number 1. Then for another Freshie, I've picked Parfums de Marly Valaya. If you've seen this channel, you know I love this scent so much. This gets me compliments whenever I go, and it's such a nice clean laundry Freshie. It's not a typical laundry scent, I would say, but it does, like when you just smell it, it has a very comforting sort of white laundry peachy fuzz sort of a scent. It's very musky in the best way. It smells luxurious though. It's not like a cheap room freshener or anything. It's definitely very expensive smelling, and it projects really loudly, which is kind of difficult for fresh fragrances. So this is an amazing one if I want to be noticed and get compliments, if I'm needing a little boost. Not that I think about that, but yeah, if I wanted to, then this would be my fragrance, because I literally, whenever I go, wherever I go, I get compliments for this one. So it's a great one for an everyday clean sort of a fragrance. Next Freshie is from a niche brand called Mizensir, and it's called Solar Blossom. This is just so gentle, so beautiful. It's a Freshie, but more of a Freshie. Imagine like being in a garden and you're just smelling all the natural flowers and greenery around you. This is that sort of fragrance, because although it is fresh, it's also floral and kind of creamy in its floralness. It's not necessarily milky, but it is creamy, soft, just very gentle. It's not sharp floral fragrance. It's very sophisticated, luxurious, and it's definitely worth the spot, because it's something that not many people will have or like smell like. So you'll smell unique with this one, but it still gives you a bit of an alternative in this collection from the other ones. Next, in the Freshies section, you also might want to have something super fresh, tart, just for those really hot summer's days, and it would be Pomelo from Jo Loves. This fragrance is so fun. It's like grapefruit, just citruses, super tart, super green, really nice, really simple in its fragrance, but I think it's nice to have something. For example, when it like gets hot and sticky, I find that I can't wear perfumes that have got like 1,000 notes in them. This is something that I gravitate towards, and I just put this in here to give you an option, because I think it's always nice to have options. By the way, I'll link all the fragrances down in the description, and also any discount codes or samples that you might buy. This next one is a nice Freshie, but also a very ladylike Freshie, I would say. Wind Flowers. This is from Creed, and it's one of those fragrances that just comes, and it's so beautiful and gentle. It's one of the fragrances that smells a bit more, say younger. I think a lot of Creed fragrances for women, they tend to be very grown up, regal, which is also great, but this is something that usually you don't get from Creed, which is probably why I like it so much, because it's so different. It's just young, youthful, and very feminine. This is a fragrance that you can wear to work and everybody will love it. It's not too intense, not too projecting that it will like be off-putting. It's just one of those fragrances that is truly timeless. Now for the next section, these are the more sensual fragrances or romantic ones that you can wear on dates, but also a bit more denser fragrances with a bit more grip, so they last during fall and winter and they make you feel a bit cozier during those times. First of those is Rouge Malachite. This fragrance does smell a bit suntan lotiony, but I still gravitate towards it in the fall and winter time, just because those white florals in here are so indulgently creamy. It's like melted white chocolate creamy, that sort of smell I'm imagining. These flowers are also quite peppery, quite spicy, and this is such a luxurious scent. This is just divine. If you love, for example, Alien from Mugler, and you want something that smells in those sort of in this area, but it's so much more high quality, rounded, just die for, then try Rouge Malachite. It's one of those just wow fragrances. It's very sensual as well. I would wear it on a date without any like thought, because it's so good. But also I wore it loads in like wintry sort of weather, because it's so good in lasting as well. So you can pretty much wear it all year round, but I did put it in here just because it's both, I think, sensual and sexy and a bit comforting for the colder season. Next, it's a sweeter gourmand fragrance that is a fun one. This is like a fun twist. I think it's always important to have those, because if you only have like prim and proper fragrances in your collection, then you'll be like bored. This is definitely not boring. This is a screaming candy, floss, everything just happening. This is like a crazy kid wanting to eat all the candy in the candy store sort of fragrance. It's so sweet. It's literally just sugar rush in a bottle. It's creamy as well. Burberry Elixir, if you want to have like a sugar rush perfume, this is this in a bottle. I've also done a full review of this fragrance on my channel, so if you want to see that, you can go and search for that video as well. Next up is a fragrance that is so perfect for fall and winter, and it's Extrait de Parfum Nishane Papillefico Reykjavik. They always have like the cities' names at the bottom. This fragrance, man, it's so good. It's sweet but still fresh at the same time. It's a bit coconutty, it's a bit woody, it's got like fig to it. Oh, it's so good. It's such a ladylike scent, but at the same time it's very niche and very refined. Love this one so much. I guarantee if you love like sandalwood, fig fragrances, then you'll love this, because it's spot on. Like this was like a love at first sniff for me, and I adore it so much. The only downside though, which I'll mention, is that it doesn't last like a huge amount of time, but I find that most fig fragrances in this sort of DNA profile don't last the longest. So I think we have to just, it's probably just the notes, the fragrance oils, but it's absolutely just gorgeous, very unique and ladylike. Perfect. Another option for date night or winter, something that you want like to feel just powerful, then this is the perfect fragrance. It's called Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper 25 from Kayali. This fragrance reminds me a lot of Oud Satin Mood from MFK, just a bit more sugary, and less smooth. This is more like a fun version of Oud Satin Mood for me, and it's one of those that is truly so fun to wear. It's like a cocooning rose woody scent. It's very velvety. It's so rich. Oh, I love it. If you love sweet, like oriental sort of fragrances, then try this out. I mean, it's Oud Satin Mood, like it mentions oud, but it's not like a animalic fecal oud fragrance. This is truly just like an oud that is more of a woody smell that's just very deep, and it's just lovely and smooth and so pleasant. So don't be scared about me mentioning oud. This is truly like a no-brainer. You can't go wrong with this one if you like sweet fragrances. Next up, it's one of the sexy fragrances. This is like mini black dress, little black dress, LBD, yeah, sort of a fragrance, and it's the OG Armani Code Eau de Parfum. This fragrance, it's one of those cult fragrances. If you're my age, you probably have seen tons of ads for this fragrance, and I used to remember smell and sniff like those in magazines, those little things that you could get like samples of perfumes in like a little pouch, and you just could dab it on your wrist. I remember just loving this fragrance from magazines and trying it on all the time. This is this sexy, vampy, musky, white floral fragrance. It's a bad girl sort of a vibe. It's, to me, like the better version of Very Good Girl from Carolina Herrera. And it's the OG. It's just the best. I love it so much. Next up, another fragrance, and this is, I think, for winter, perfect for dates. It's a very romantic fragrance. Romance is like the word for this fragrance, and it's Poison Girl Eau de Toilette from Dior. This scent, it's just so beautiful. It's floral, but it's got this like little bit of herbalness to it. It's got this licorice scent to it as well. It's one of those really smoky gourmands that is just to die for, and I do prefer the Eau de Toilette. I find that it's actually stronger than the Eau de Parfum, so don't be fooled sometimes by the Eau de Toilette, Eau de Parfum. Sometimes like strength of the scent has nothing to do with the name. And this scent, my husband often says, and lots of people here on this channel have said, that this smells very romantic. This smells like love, basically. That's what people describe. So if you want to smell like love and just romantic and beautiful, then this might be your scent. And the last section is Easygoing Florals. These are fragrances that you can wear to a wedding, you can wear every day. They are just, I mean, who hates florals? Nobody hates florals. So florals are always, I think, the core of most women's collections, unless they really like different scents. But this is just for everybody. Safe but beautiful scents that you can wear to work, you can wear to a wedding, you can wear literally simply everywhere. First of those scents is Mystic Geranium from Tory Burch. They released a couple of scents this year, and this scent in particular is very nice and floral and clean. If you like squeaky clean florals, something so fresh, just crisp, then this is beautiful fragrance. It lasts really nicely as well, and I love the bottle. I think it's a great one for work, for every day. It's easy enough to wear like during work or school. It's not like, it doesn't have like age brackets necessarily, because it's just squeaky clean. Like everybody loves this sort of a scent. Next up, we've got another floral, iris floral sort of fragrance, Liz Soderberg. This is a bit more of an unusual floral. It's a bit more of a calming, easygoing floral. Very nice and unique niche scents. This is not your typical flowery fragrance. This is just walk in the forest. You just get the pine needles, the lovely iris that is so calming. Something's here. Oh, it's just radiant. It's kind of got this nice citrusiness, but like a sweetened tea, sort of a citrusy scent to it, and it's just so refreshing, so different from any floral, I guarantee you, that you've ever smelled in your life. Next up, we've got a very Easygoing Fun Floral Angel Nova. This is the Eau de Parfum. Yes, it is the Eau de Parfum from Thierry Mugler. And this scent, oh, it's so fun. This reminds me of the first ever perfume that I received as a gift. It was, I guarantee you, something like this. It just goes back, like my memory just shoots there. It's one that is so fun. This is like strawberry, just fruitiness, a really fun, young, not a worry in the world sort of fragrance. It would be perfect for a teenager, but also like us grown women, I'm sure we appreciate this sort of a scent, just because sometimes it's nice to have those like niche, really interesting, woody scents in our collection, but something like this is so fun and much needed in everybody's collection, I feel like, because we all want to feel like this sometimes. This is like a pick-me-up fragrance. This is like, oh, I just want to feel good in the mood. This is great. And another beautiful floral scent that is slightly unusual, I would say. It is Amouage Guidance, my love, my signature scent at the moment. This is so strong, so beautiful. I mean, so I saw somebody comment that you never got into women's Amouage fragrances until this, and I'm totally the same. Like, I never got too much into the women's versions, these little bottles of Amouage, but this is the first fragrance for women from Amouage that I'm like, it's so good, so strong. Again, compliments left, right, and center. This is a floral, clean, incensey sort of a floral. Unusual, but still very likable to the general like public, because I sometimes might enjoy wearing a niche fragrance that is challenging, but other people might be like, she smells weird. And I'll still wear those fragrances because I enjoy them, but this is one of those that is a bit unusual, unique, very niche, but still people love the scent of it. So I think that is why it's so great. Let me know one fragrance that you always have to have in your collection and you repurchase over and over. So let me know in the comments. I'll link all of these down below for you to try out, shop. I'm also on Instagram at Monica_Cioch, C-I-O-C-H, where I post a bit more about lifestyle and fashion and any bits and bobs on my stories that I get or thoughts I have. So connect there with me, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.